sir.
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, glad to have everyone on the call. Thank you for joining back to back. Tonight's session will be the wrap up for this month's webinars. And the topic for today is finding and securing. If you've been following consistently, I'm sure you will have learned one or two and taken into action those things that you've learned.
Okay. So you're welcome. This is the AIP 25 Afro-Youth Impact Program. So we have a series of webinars, and the goal is for career development and career growth. So, the organization in charge of this is Stride Presidential Youth Initiative, and we have been able to impact quite a number of people. And here we are today. This is the last webinar on the series, and it's a very important one talking about how to get remote jobs. So that is why we are asking you, like, what's your experience applying for remote jobs so that we can know, and so that the facilitator can also fill the room and know, okay, this is what we should expect. So you're welcome once again from us. And I think right now we'll pull up the poll. So you see a poll now on your screen. Kindly fill the poll as soon as possible so that we can proceed to the session. Thank you.
Emmanuel Esonluwa is a dedicated and highly committed professional who is dedicated to leaving a positive mark in any life or organization he works with. He has over a decade of experience across multi-fields and industries. Emmanuel began his journey in academia where he taught mathematics. This experience laid a strong foundation for growing his passion for education, leadership, and mentorship. Over the years, Emmanuel has taken different roles in administration, facility management, and procurement before discovering his true passion, which is human resources. Due to Emmanuel's versatility, he has taken up different roles in HR within a short time. He has climbed the HR professional ladder from starting as an HR official to being a lead consultant. Emmanuel has expertise in talent acquisition, outsourcing, learning and development, background checks, strategic advisory. His role extends beyond HR. He has served as Chief of Staff and Acting Managing Director, where he played a pivotal role in business strategy and organization development. Emmanuel records success and impact people in areas beyond the HR profession. He is a career consultant and life coach. He's passionate about helping professionals and young talent. As a sought-after speaker, he has engaged audience in both spiritual and professional platforms. He tailors his speaking engagement to helping others unlock their full potentials. Also, he has one-on-one session with interested individuals. Driven by a deep passion for mentoring teenagers, students, and young adults, Emmanuel co-founded Teens Ecclesia. Teens Ecclesia is a platform committed to equipping the next generation with their tools for personal, academic, and spiritual growth. He currently works as the head people and culture at Task. His flair of leadership also landed the role as co-founder at the Social Boardroom. Simultaneously, he is a consultant to many Nigerian startups, a visionary leader, a strategic thinker. Emmanuel remains committed to helping individuals and organizations thrive through innovative HR solutions, leadership development, and mentorship. Stride Green Estencia Youth Initiative make welcome Emmanuel Esonlua. Thank you.
Oh boy. I can't believe that was me. Thank you so much, Bankole. Thank you, Stride. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Please confirm that you can hear me clearly before I continue.
I can hear you, sir.
All right, Baba Tunde, thank you. It looks like you're the only one clapping. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. I've guilt-tripped some people like that. But thank you guys. It's a privilege to be here. I don't take it for granted. Just because this is recorded, I love the fact that I don't know if it's a good thing, but I love the fact that we are not many, because it helps me speak freely. It also helps ensure that I'm able to cover as many questions as possible from everyone who is here who may want to ask one question or another. So we're going to have enough time to do that within the time frame that I have. I don't know, is it possible to help share that screen? Is it possible? Slide? I just want to know. I already shared the slide. I'm sure that most of
Downloaded it
Oh,
on
do you have
this.
to download it? You could just share your screen on that site. I already published it
Okay.
actually, so you could just share your screen from that site. The reason why I'm asking is I don't want to be going back and forth between my screen because I need to be able to interact with everybody. So my apologies. But while that is being done, it's good to see everyone. It's a privilege to be here. I don't take it for granted. Thank you for finding the time. Today is Saturday. A lot of us should probably be somewhere tearing turkey, goat meat, rice, chicken, but you've made it a point of duty to be here at this time, to be here to gain knowledge. And so I want to thank you for that. So this is my slide. I already published it. I'm sure that it's going to be shared with us after now so that we'll probably could go check it out. I don't know if you want to use okay, it's fine. I was just thinking if you want to put it on a slide display mode, but I can see clearly though. So we want to talk about the future of works. It's a lot. I'm hoping we're able to cover all of the things we need to cover within the time that we have to cover it, but we'll see how far we can go. It's a lot of things when we are talking of the future of work. Work has changed, has moved from what it used to be to what it is now. So before I quickly do a deep delve into my slide, I'll just call, I don't know anybody, thank God. So if I call your name, it's not because I want to guilt trip you or put you in trouble. I'm just doing as a slow lead. So Rosaline, I don't know if you can unmute yourself. I just want to ask a simple question. And the question is, what have you noticed in the way work used to be done in the early 2000s, right? And now, what have you noticed? I'm going to ask Rosalind that question. I'm also going to ask Mokwelola that question. Do you want to go, Rosalind? Are you able to unmute and speak?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening. Can you speak a little bit louder? Just a little bit.
What I noticed in the 2000s was that there was a lot of more paperwork, but now we have more of digital work. Like everything we do is now more saved in a digital way. And work is more faster compared to in the year 2000s.
That is very true. That is very, very true. We had a lot of manual labor, compulsory on-site work. Then I think the year 2019 and 2020 brought a lot of change. And in the past 5 years, if you've been noticing the trend, the way things have happened, the number of tools, AI, and all of these things that have invaded our space in the past 5, you can't believe it. 5 years. Take 5 years out of your life. Most of us are probably late 20s, early 20s, or maybe, I don't know if there's any teenager here, but take 5 years away from your life and imagine how life has been before the year 2019 when the COVID happened. Imagine your parents working, they have to compulsorily go to work and all of that. And imagine what has started happening. Within just 5 years, you have been started talking of remote work, and everybody want to become a tech bro, tech sis. You want to work from your home, cross your leg, no traffic, nothing. You know, all of those exciting things about remote work. But do you know that in another 5 years before the year 2030, a whole lot more things are going to change? And that is part of what we're going to be talking about. How can you get ready for that kind of space, for those kind of changes that are going to happen within the next 5 years? For me, when I talk about the future of work, I don't only speak about remote work alone. A lot of our attention is on remote work, but remote work in Nigeria, we will see the statistics as I delve into the slide. No, don't go next. Just wait first. Remote work is just nearing about 20% of how work is done in Nigeria currently. I think in Africa, actually. A lot of work has still been done hybrid and on-site. A lot of work. And that speaks to how ready we are for remote work in Nigeria, in Africa, and how quickly we can catch up with the global space. A lot of the developed countries, most of the jobs are physical, most of the jobs are remote, and then some of the ones that are physical are even taken up by our people that have jackpot, you know. A lot of the people there don't even want to go to work, just the same way they don't want to go to school, which is the reason why when you get to some of their schools, it's Africans, Indians, Chinese people. Those are the people you find in their schools, all right? But there's a thinking and there's a mindset around it. But the reason why I don't focus only on remote work when I speak is that remote work is not the only kind of work you should prepare yourself for, especially if you are someone just trying to get into the job space. Getting remote work can be very tiring, can be very trying, especially if you don't have experience before. If you've not worked anywhere to gain experience, it's difficult because I'm not going to be seeing you. I don't even know where you live. I've never seen you before, and I want to trust you to do job without coming to the office. The only way I can trust you to do that is if I've seen a track record of you working somewhere before. So while a lot of new people, you see a lot of recent graduates who are crying, what I want is remote job. And then they see hybrid, they see on-site, they don't want to do those ones. It's remote job. I work within the people operations space. I work as an HR consultant, many organizations, and I get to speak with graduates. I get to speak with a lot of people. And I just see this obsession about wanting to work remote. But when you ask them, where have you worked before? At least, okay, we want to give you the remote job, but give us a track record of where you've worked at before. They go blank because there's nothing to say. They've not worked anywhere. And you want me to trust you that you will work without supervision when you've not worked anywhere before. So these are some of the challenges around remote. That's why I don't only focus on remote work. I focus on hybrid and I focus on on-site. So I'm going to be capturing all of that also in this conversation, just so that this session can be a blessing to everyone that is listening to me. So if you are in an hybrid job or doing an hybrid job or an on-site job right now, don't lose heart. Keep doing it because you need the experience on that to eventually transition if you are someone who wants to eventually get into remote work. Having done that, having said that, can we move on, please? Next. Thank you. As I'm speaking, if you have questions, you can just drop them on in the chats. I'm sure somebody is going to be there. I don't want you to forget any question. And there's no silly question. There's no stupid question. So please, if you have any question, just quickly type it or note it down so that when it's time for question, we could pick that. Now, looking at the realities we have around ourselves, you can see the global reality. Percent of professionals right now, and this statistics is just between the year 2019, 2018 till now. That's just about 7 years ago. In 2017, nobody was talking of AI. Nobody was talking of working remote, especially in Nigeria, right? But right now, everybody works. 75% of professionals work flexibly, and flexibly mean different type of jobs. There's remote work. There's blended mode of working. There is hybrid. Hybrid means you go maybe 3 days to work physically and you do 2 days at home, or you do 2 days and do 3 days. Some people even do 4 days in the office and they do 1 day at home. That one is hybrid, a combination of both remote and on-site. On-site is you are physically there 5 days of the week or 7 days, depending on the kind of job that you do. 60% want hybrid arrangement, right? So even though we have 75% working flexibly right now, about 60% of professionals that we have, they want hybrid arrangement. You know, job postings for flexible role has doubled in the last 1 year. This data is between the year 2023 and 2024. We are waiting for the data for 2025. Maybe it would have tripled, because if I take a sample of everybody on this call, about 2/3 of those on this call want to jackpot into remote, right? So imagine what that sample speaks of. You talk to anybody right now, what kind of job do you want? I just want a cozy, easy job that is, remote. I just want to be in my house. And, I just smile at that reality. But it is the reality that is staring us in the face. A lot of jobs right now find it difficult to hire people, especially if it is an on-site job, because people don't want to come to the office. When you look at the African context, you see that 42% of African employees work remotely. 42%. In Nigeria is less than that, is about 20%. But imagine the entire African something is 42%. And then only 14% of Nigerian businesses are fully remote. Can you see that? Out of 100% of all Nigerian businesses, you only have 14% right now that is fully remote. The implication of this is in another 5 years, this 14% will probably grow to about a 60%, which is going to be double of what we have right now. In fact, it's going to be like 3x, 4x of what we have right now, from 14% to about 60%, meaning that you still have the opportunity to grow and begin to action some of the steps you are going to be taught on this call, in this session. And you can map out the next 2 years, the next 3 years, in fact, the next 6 months for you to transition from what you are doing now into a fully remote job. And then we'll get to that. 64% see digital transformation as key. So whilst know that digital transformation is key, they need to move digital, it's just only about 14% that is fully remote at this time. In fact, some of these 14% have already started calling back some of their workers. Some of them are going back to hybrid mode right now because they've realized that remote can be very expensive. And that is the hard truth. Nobody wants to tell you. Remote work can be pretty expensive. One of the reasons why it can be very expensive is you now have to cater to your own data, internet connection, and you cannot afford not to be online as long as you're at work, because that's the only way we know that you are working. The implication of that is most people need to now move away from where they used to live before to other places that are probably more expensive because of network. For those who can't afford to move, you now need to go to a workspace and pay for using that workspace just so that you can stay remote. Another thing is, yeah, you don't get to do traffic and all of those things, but don't forget that you will run your gen or you will run your light. Most of the time in Nigerian businesses, they don't cater to that. You have to cater to that by yourself since you said you don't want to come to work. So it can be pretty expensive both for the owner of the business and even for the people, the staff or the employees of that business. Can we go to the next thing? So you may want to rethink whether you want to do remote or you want to stay hybrid or you want to do fully on-site, right? The three pillars of modern work right now. We have a lot of different models for work. Like I said, we have blended, we have fractional model where somebody works, you have a shift. Shift is you work 6 hours, you go, another person works 6 hours. In the US and UK, that is quite very popular, where somebody works 6 hours here, finishes his or her shift, and then goes somewhere else to do 3 hours. You know, that kind of thing. There's fractional, where you probably work for 1 month straight, then you take break for like 2 months, and then you come back again. There's rotational, there's blended, which is also the same thing we call hybrid. There's remote, there's on-site. But let me speak to these three major ones that we already know about. Remote work is location independent, and it opens you up to global opportunities, right? The implication of remote work is you can be here and work with a company that is in the UK, that is in the US, without having to bother. Before 2019, if you got a job in the UK, you start thinking of money to move to the UK so that you can do that job, which was why a lot of people jackpot, because they felt, Nigeria is not paying me well. Let me jackpot. If I use school to enter, then I'll start working. Then I will start working in the UK company. They'll start paying me in dollars. But you know, right now, I don't have to be in UK to work in UK. I can be in Nigeria and work in Israel, work in Pakistan, work in the UK, work in Canada. So remote work gives you that location leverage, and then it opens you up to global opportunities. Hybrid work is the best of both worlds, right? You work remotely, you also work physically on site, because there are people who work in the US, work with US organizations or US companies, but then those companies also have physical presence, like Oracle. Oracle has physical presence. Before they went fully remote, sometimes they do 3 days at home, then they come to the office, Lagos, wherever the office is, and they do 2 days. That is hybrid. So you can still enjoy some kind of benefits working remote, like when working remotely with hybrid job, right? But then it helps you to be flexible. You're able to collaborate and network with people that are not just Nigerians, but all over the world. And then you have the on-site work, which is the traditional model many of us were used to. In fact, many of us prayed for before COVID happened, and then we started to rush for remote work. The key here is don't limit yourself to one model. Master all three approaches, because the goal is for you to work and be productive. One of my best book, not one of my best book, says whatever your hand finds to do it. So whether you find it as an on-site work, or you find it as hybrid work, or you find it as remote work, just do it. By the time you start doing that, other opportunities will also open up to you. I didn't start working remotely. If you listen to my profile when it was read, I started as a mathematics teacher, and that was as far back as 2014, 2015. There was nothing remote about teaching. You have to come to school and teach. Your students also see, your parents also see. If you don't come to work, you have committed an offense. Monies can even be deducted from your salary eventually, you know. So I didn't start working remotely. In fact, I think I'm one of the few people that never wanted to do remote work, because I just love seeing people. You now tell me for a whole month or for a whole year, I will just be in my house and be working. I won't interact with people. I won't talk to people. It used to be very difficult, right? I didn't even think of remote work. The best I wanted was hybrid work, right? But when the opportunity came, Got a couple of remote work. I've done freelancing work even for companies that are not in Nigeria. So please open up your mind. That is the basic thing I'm saying. Open up your mind. Don't close it to just remote work. The idea is be productive, whatsoever you are find to do, please do it. Because eventually, even if you are working as a tailor right now, if you don't master working with integrity, with diligence, and putting your hands to work, by the time technology comes, it's going to sweep you off. It's going to take you out. And then people that have mastered this craft, imagine you being in Ibadan, people in Ibadan are still going to Abuja or sending WhatsApp message to somebody in Abuja to sew their clothes because they've tried it and then you are not measuring up. So be diligent, put your hands to work, whatsoever comes, take it, and let's push. My first job paid me about 40K. You know, in 2014, 2015, I did that job for about 4 years till about 2018, and I was earning 40K as a teacher. Then, you know, you do lesson training. Some parents say, oh, this mathematics teacher is good. You know, mathematics teacher are hot cake. And then, oh, this mathematics teacher is good. Come and teach my daughter home lesson. And then how many students you want to teach home lesson one-on-one? So the most I could take every time is 2 students, and then I was taking maybe 15K, that's 30K plus the 40K makes 70K, right? And I did that from 2014 till about 2018, until I got another job, facility management, admin with a radio station in Ibadan, and then they were paying me 60K in 2018. So just get the job. Don't say, hey, the money is too small. Build capacity, build experience, because it is going to be relevant when you eventually get that hybrid work or you get that remote. So can we move on, please? Thank you. I'm going to be faster. So the slide is going to be there for you guys to go and read. Our work mode deep dive, you know, remote work, like I told you, 31% of senior roles are fully remote. 14% of mid-level roles are remote. So you have the reality of remote work, like I told you, which was why I made mention of what I mentioned initially. Most jobs that are entry-level roles is difficult to get them as remote, especially when you don't have any experience. Because remote means I'm not going to be seeing you, but I trust you that you will do the work. How do I trust you that you will do the work? You must have a track record that you've been doing the work. So if you've never done that work, and then you just want me to hire you, trusting that you do the work when you've never done any work before, it's difficult for me to do that, right? And that's why especially when people come and say, you know, if I can do virtual assistant and all of that. For most of you that have done maybe ALX training or any of those virtual assistants and all of those trainings they tell people that do that to go and do internship with people free of charge for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Why do they tell them to do that? Just so that you can have experience. You can have something to put on your CV. Then when you can use that leverage, build your portfolio, and then use that to say you want to get a job. 31% of senior roles. That's why the highest percentage is for the senior roles, because you've worked. It's easy for me to say I want to maybe change jobs right now, or maybe I want to move to remote work, because looking at my CV or even my profile, you know, this one knows what he's doing. He doesn't need somebody to be monitoring him up and down. You get what I'm trying to say? And it's the same thing if you go on, say, Fiverr right now or Upwork. Most of the people that get the biggest jobs are the people that, Kingsley, I see your hand. If it's a question, quickly type it, because I'm not going to stop talking. My time is reading. Just type your questions or quickly write it down so that you don't forget. Thank you. You've done the work, so it's easy. Compared to mid-level roles, it's just 14%, right? So please understand, professional services, 21% of them are remote, 65% of them are hybrid. Then what's the African advantage? The African advantage is there's access to global salary scale. For instance, those in the UK or maybe the white guys, most of them are not looking forward to remote job. Because if you say remote, is it Nigerian remote job you want them to come and do? Even though I hire a couple of them, but most of them have become freelancers. You know, they just get a job from Nigeria, get another one from the UK, get another one from Canada, and then get another one from Europe, and then just put all of those. So those have turned to freelancers, big shot freelancers, right? But the African advantage is you can be in Ghana and be earning in dollars or be earning in the equivalent of dollars. You know, the issue around remote work that they told us is, you know, when you start remote work like this, you just be earning in dollars. It's not true. It's not very true. It's not everybody working remotely that is earning in dollars. Some of them still earn in naira, but it's just that it's higher because they are earning in the equivalent of dollars, right? So maybe a job they would have done in Nigeria that would have been 200,000. Don't forget that if you convert, let's use 300,000. If you convert 300,000 into dollars, that's just about 200. That's just about $200 if you use 1,500. So I'm not sure there's any remote job really that wants to pay you that they will now say your monthly stipend is $200. So sometimes they will up it to about 500 or 1,000. By the time you convert that to naira, you have somebody whose salary should have been 200 doing the same work or something more and earning 1.5 or 1 million or 800. So that's the advantage. It doesn't mean that you start earning dollars, but you can be earning in dollar equivalent. The cost effectiveness of international company, right? You don't have to now travel as you used to do before. If you got a job in the UK in 2018, you have to get your passport, your visa, you have to borrow money to travel. Then when you are working, you'll be using that money to settle the loan. But right now, you can just stay in your house and do all of that. Don't also forget that time zones also change. So I can relate to the lady that said she didn't get the job because of the time zone. Don't think that when you are sleeping, the whole world is sleeping. The whole world is not sleeping when you are sleeping. Some people are just waking up right now while we are planning to go and sleep. So imagine you get a job in that time zone and your body is already used to sleeping by 9 p.m. You now got a job where you start work at say 7 p.m. Your own 7 p.m. is your own 9 a.m. in the morning. How do you want to handle that? I've trained people on jobs and then they get the job and they work from about 8 p.m. in the night till about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning because that's the time zone. I currently work CST. CST is UK is -6. So the idea of CST, the time zone is when I resume, I work what too because of the senior management level that I work in. So I work 8 a.m. But instead of now working 8 a.m. to 5 or 9 till 5 like we know it, I have to now do 9 till about 10 p.m., 11 p.m. because it is CST. My own 10 p.m. is somebody's 4 p.m. He's just closing from work. Me, I'm trying to sleep. You get the dynamics now. So while it is cost effective for international company, you also need to be mentally alert and prepared for the issues around remote work. I'm spending time on this because this is object of focus for this session. You know, growing digital infrastructure is one of the African advantage. A lot of people don't know some of these tools. If you say Slack, some people don't understand Slack. When you tell people Slack, they're like, no, I'm not Slack in Jesus' name. They will start rebuking the devil. They start saying they start saying you are cursing them. But Slack is a tool. Slack is if you say click up, say which one is click up again. Where should I click? They'll start looking at their computer. I don't say anywhere to click, but click up is actually a tool, right? And you know, these are some of the things that have invaded. We started with Zoom during COVID, and now we have a lot of them all around. Success requirements for remote work, you must be disciplined, but not just disciplined, it has to be self-disciplined because nobody will chase you. You must be able to communicate. I've seen people lost jobs because of indiscipline. And when we say indiscipline, it's not that they were frolicking around. Indiscipline is that they were not doing the job, right? You get a job, you think you want to quickly sleep small, maybe nobody knows that I'm doing the job. And then they give you a time, you don't finish in that time. And then when it comes to remote work, there's nothing like, let's forgive him. You're not doing the work, you're not doing the work. You failed the first time, you failed the second time, the third time they sack you, right? It is as simple as that. Communication is very important. I know I heard of someone who lost a $2,500 job about 3 years ago because he was not communicating. He was a tech bro. They gave him work. He was doing the work, but was not giving them update. They will send mail to the guy will not read. Eventually, when he did it the third time, meanwhile, they've been sending mail to say, this is your first time, warning, your second time. He was not reading mail, he didn't even know. The only time he knew was when they called him to say, return our company laptop, we have sacked you. That was when he got to see the communication that was happening, because he wasn't communicating. And then tech setup, you need that very importantly. Let's move. Thank you. The other ones I'll just quickly gloss through. For hybrid, 82% flexibility is crucial. Highest engagement at 35%. 92% rank collaboration as important. You know, a lot of people just feel like, hybrid is sweet. I can go to work, say 2 days, 3 days, see my friends, we gist, we walk. I'm not bored. Then 2 days I'm at home, nobody is disturbing me. You know, that kind of flexible arrangement. And that's why a lot of people go for it. That's why it is also trending in Nigeria as of today. It's a balance between on-site and remote. The perfect balance, you know, you do 2 to 3 days office day, 2 to 3 days remote standard. You build relationship, you build connection. You can see the people you are working with. You can collaborate. Somebody is not answering you, you can say, okay, when I get to the office tomorrow, I'll quickly hold this person's hand and get him to do my work so that nobody is raking for me. But remote, you're on your own. You better get it done, whichever way. And you know it's best for collaborative innovation. That's why a lot of tech companies still do hybrid, not fully remote. They still do hybrid because it helps innovation. You know, you come into a room, you're able to brainstorm with a lot of people and all of that. Let's move. Thank you. Then we'll go to on-site. For on-site, the only way you can get people to come on site is if you have enhanced benefits to attract talent, right? If you have an improved workplace culture that encourages people to come. For instance, I know even till now, InterSwitch still use Shortlast to bring their guys to the office when they want them to come to the office, right? That is part of just improving the benefit and ensuring that they make it easier, because a lot of people really, especially if you're in Lagos, I'm not sure, but Ibadan is still very, you know, you can get your way around. But Lagos, where you close by 5 and then you get home by 11, and then by 4 a.m. you're already preparing to come back to work. You get that kind of thing. So that's why you see a lot of benefit now. You see data allowance, you see Shortlast. Some people even arrange food in the office so that at least you're drinking tea. You're eating biscuit, and then it's encouraging you to come to work from time to time. You know, some of the companies that still do a lot of on-site manufacturing, Dangote Refinery and all of those people, especially if you are into manufacturing, if you are one of the staff there, you might not be able to do remote for now. You might even not be able to do hybrid because the thing needs to run 24/7. So manufacturing, healthcare, education right now is going to pivot. So for teachers in the next 5 years, a lot of schools might move to hybrid arrangement or even go to remote. Because everything is probably going to be online for majority of them. But for now, all of these are on site, you know. Another thing that works well is, you know, early career learning and mentorship on site is very good. Team building and culture immersion is good for on site. Let's move quickly. Okay, case studies. Don't let me speak to these. You can go and read it on the site. The journey, you could learn from these stories, and that was why I added it. You know, for those of us who want to get into tech system, you want to get into fintech, you want to get into some of these big companies. These are some of the things you need to learn. For instance, if you want to get into CUDA, Your technical skills need to be high. Your cultural fitness needs to be high. If you are still the person that maybe struggles with calling people by their first name, it might be difficult for you to get a remote job, because some of the companies you want to work with, they will tell you, address me with my first name. So if you are someone who is, no, this man is older than me, Mr., or you want to go and call Mrs. Doctor, over there, they don't care. They don't even want you to call them doctor. There was a scenario where we were on a meeting and then someone saw one of our guys on the call, and it was like, Prof. Clinton. It was like, no, why are you making me feel old? Call me Clinton. Call me Clinton. I'm like, meanwhile, the lady he was saying, call me Clinton, she's just about, I think about 19, 20. She just got out of school and then she's on internship. So imagine someone like that calling the CEO by his name. It's difficult for her. The bad nature in her does not want to come out. But then they had to let her know, you are working in a different place, so you better be ready. So cultural fitness is very important. Or you work in a place where somebody is a male, according to you, you can see this one is a man. He's telling you, I'm a woman. Call me she. My pronoun is she, her. How do you handle things like that? So you need to understand cultural fitness. Your communication needs to be strong. You need to be able to, because we can't see you. We probably can't even understand. You might be joking. To you, you are joking, but what I heard is you are mad. Whether you said it laughing, I don't care. But what you said is you are mad. And here we don't say you are mad. And they can strike you or sack you because of that. So communication skill is also very important. Then you need to invest in digital infrastructure. Let's move. So you can read all of these stories. Andela is also one of those global organizations. Let's move. Okay, for opportunity in Africa, for those of you looking for remote job or hybrid, some of the places you might need to begin to target is, fintech, target edutech. I know some people who are teachers, but they don't teach in a school. They teach from the comfort of their home. They just teach about 2-3 students from the US. They teach them, take them subjects, mathematics or English, and then they pay them, say, $10 per hour, $20 per hour. And that's what they do. But they are teachers, they're in edutech, right? So you need to look at that. Creative and content, very important. Very, very important. Look at that if you are within that space. E-commerce, there's also health tech right now. And then there's geographic hotspot. I don't have time to speak to that. Let's move. Thank you. What are the skill sets you need to have? I'm looking at my time and I know it's going very fast. I think I have just about 5-10 minutes more, so I'll be fast. Data analysis and to be able to interpret that, very important. So when we say data analysis, it doesn't mean you need to go and use Power BI and use all of those things. But most of the time, they just give you a task. And then data analysis, don't forget, this is analysis, not analytics. They are two different things, right? The words I'm saying right now, they are data. There's a way you can put what I'm saying together, interpret and understand what I'm saying, and ask questions or interpret it properly for you to be able to understand what I'm saying. It's also part of data analysis, right? More like the basic kind of it. And if you're going to work remotely, you need to have that skill where by hearing or listening to what your CEO or what your boss is saying, you can already picture what he wants to achieve. Without him having to draw charts. When he sends you a mail, you already understand where he's thinking from and what he wants you to achieve. Digital marketing and social media are also basic skills for basic people who want to start remote job as maybe a social media intern, a marketing intern, a TikTok influencer intern, and all of those things. Coding is not important anymore. Because you can use a lot of AIs right now. But for those who are looking into getting into engineering or probably engineering, and all you know is C++, my brother, you need to go and learn basic coding. Oh, let me add my sister so that I'm not gender insensitive. AI tool proficiency is very important. ChatGPT, Canva. For instance, all of these things you are seeing, this slide, everything on this slide was done by an AI. In fact, what I did was the proposal and the invite you sent to me, I just put the proposal and invite, I put it on the AI, I put my flyer that was sent on the AI, and I gave it a prompt. This is the topic, this is who I am, this is what I want to talk about. And then it created the content and created the slide. This slide, I didn't edit anything. I just ensured that my prompt is accurate. So one of the technical skills you must also learn right now in this age is prompt engineering. Prompt engineering, very important. For the person asking what's the name of the AI tool, if you go to this site, you will see Claude AI. So you can open your own account, use the free version. But this is one of the tools I use. I use Canva also. I use ChatGPT, Banana for images. I do a lot of things, right? So gone are the days where you have to pay 25,000 to go and learn how to do Canva. You can tell ChatGPT to teach you how to use ChatGPT. Right? Even in this age. So it's a lot of funny things. Soft skills, communication, very important. Hey, I've mentioned communication like since the time I've been talking. It's very important too, right? Very, very important. Communication is very, very important. Collaboration, very, very important. You must be able to adapt because today they might say this is what you are doing. Tomorrow the information has changed. Why are you still trying to argue? They've moved on. They've left you. They've told you to go. So adaptability is very, very key. You need to learn also very fast. It's fast paced. That's the word you are going to be hearing in this age. Fast pace. Fast pace. Gone are those days where you'll be dragging your feet to still get. I'm still trying to understand what you're saying. Right now, you need to understand very fast. Very, very fast, right? Because what you're thinking you need 5 days to do. Before now, if I want to create this slide, probably it's going to take me 2-3 days to go on PowerPoint to start putting the word and everything together. But right now, in 5 minutes, I can get this done. Actually, in under 2 minutes, I can get this done. Do you get what I'm trying to say now? Problem solving, critical thinking, cultural competence. Cultural competence, especially for global teams. There are some people you don't greet in some ways. There are some ways you don't talk. There are some things you don't say. You can be in your Nigerian office and say, hey, Mr. Man, Mrs. Woman, listen to me. You need to listen to me. You can't do that in some global play. In fact, raising your voice is counted as a strike already for you. You can't raise your voice at people and all of that. So cultural competence, you need to understand the culture of the company you want to get into even before. Don't say when I get there, I will learn. No, you can learn it before you get there. They are on social media. Go and look at how they treat themselves, how they communicate, how they speak. These are some of the things you need to know. Let's move on quickly. Thank you. All right. Job search strategy framework. One, be clear about what you're looking for. I think that is something we need to all agree to. You need to be very clear what you're looking for. I see a lot of people come to me and say, oh, sir, I need a job, or I'm looking for a job. And you ask them, what do you want? They say, I don't know. How can you say you don't know? You are looking for a job. You tell me, oh, sir, any job. No. There's nowhere you will go to. LinkedIn, social media, type it on your search bar and say, oh, I'm looking for any job. No job will come. There's no job title called any job. You need to be clear. Oh, based on what I've done so far, I think social media management is what I have flair for. Oh, I've thought before, so maybe a teaching job. You need to be clear what you are looking for. Don't today be a teacher, tomorrow you're a chef, next tomorrow you're a bus conductor. The next one you are doing POS. Then after you've done all of those things, you now see a remote job for maybe an operations manager, and are not picking you. How will they pick you with all of the things you have in your CV? So it's necessary to be clear and build progressively around that. I didn't start with where I am right now. By the grace of God, today I'm CPO. That's what they call it, Chief People Operations somewhere in one of those organizations. If you look at my back, you will see the logo of the company. It's Telix Holding. And I have a lot of people. The company has about 168 staff right now as at last month count. We are getting to almost 200, but I won't be here or have the capacity to do this if I've not been building. I started as an HR officer, somebody that carries files, give people form to fill when they, that was where I started from. But today, I'm no longer there. I've built progressively. So clarity is key. I know this is this HR thing I want to do, and I'm here building. Now that I'm on this level, I can say, okay, let me delve into something else because I'm here already. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So clarity is important. Preparation is important. Be building your portfolio level by level. Take it. Do 3 months. Do 6 months. Don't just do 1 month and say, oh, I don't like this job. Then you leave there. Then by the time we now look at your CV, we are seeing you doing 1 week somewhere, 3 weeks somewhere, and we're like, what's happening here? That tells me you won't be considered. Even if you get this job, you won't stay more than 2 months. And so I don't want to give you the job. You get it now. Number 3 is sourcing. Some of us don't know how to look for jobs. Every single hour, I don't want to say day, because day will not hit every single hour on LinkedIn, jobs are being posted. Every single hour on Jobberman, on Google. Even if you go to Google and say, now that you are clear, you know it is social media manager intern, go on Google and type social media manager jobs. You will be amazed at how many jobs you are going to get. So you need to be able to use multi-channel approach to source for jobs. Don't just sit and say, I'm on this WhatsApp group. Most of those WhatsApp groups that you are waiting for job to come to you, before they post that job, about 5,000 people have already applied to the job. You see a job on LinkedIn and in another 20 minutes, 100 people have applied, and you are still waiting for somebody to help you post it on WhatsApp. Go out. Do what you need to do. Stop waiting. It won't fall on your lap. Number 4, you need to, I can't cover this because all of these things are different topics on their own. That how do you gain clarity? Some people are not, it's not like they are lazy. They just don't know how to be clear about what they want to do. And I treat that in one-on-one sessions for people. It is not free, and I'm not apologetic about it. So I just need to be clear so that people are not beginning to come into my DM after now. But there are skills to help you arrive at clarity around that. I teach it also from time to time. How do I build my portfolio? How do I optimize my profile? How does your LinkedIn look like? You can't be on this call and not be on LinkedIn. But what does your LinkedIn even look like? Can I get on LinkedIn and say, oh, I'm looking I'm trying to hire a social media manager, and your name pops up? Does it happen? If it doesn't happen, it means your LinkedIn is not optimized. You need to prepare properly. Sourcing, application, how do I apply? I see a lot of application come, and even the way they saved their CV, you know this person will not get a job in the next 2 years. You see somebody saving their CV with NIL. Some people will say Ibadan 2005. That's what you used to save your CV in 2025. And my brother, you might not get a job, bro. Because we don't have time. ATS won't even see your CV. So you apply, but you say people are not seeing it because truly the HR is not seeing it. It's a machine that is helping them sort. And your CV did not even come up. The HR didn't see it at all. So there are skills to applying for a job. Then you need to be able to negotiate. I see this happen a lot of time where the budget for a role is say 1 million, but the person is like, well, if I get 500,000, if you say it's 500,000 you want and the budget is 1 million, nobody will say, will you collect 1 million by force? No, 500K, that is good. That's what they will pay you. So how do you negotiate? It is very important. Don't negotiate from a place of desperation. Let me just get the job. So once they tell you, oh, congratulations, we are looking at getting you for the job, but how much do you think you can earn? Any amount, just give me any amount. Okay, this is Nigeria. Inflation has gone up. Don't tell us any amount. You need to learn the skill for negotiation. The secret is apply the same intensity to all the 3 work mode. Like I said, don't just focus on remote. Focus on remote, hybrid, on-site. Start from whichever one comes, but don't be desperate about it. Let's move on quickly so that I can wrap this up. Please, how many slides are left? Can you hear me check? I just want to be sure. My screen is full mode. I think I should have just about 2. Oh, no. Okay, go back. Yes, stop here. No, Go to the next one very quickly. Where to find each type of opportunity. Like I said, I've shared this material with with the team. You can just go and look for opportunities. I just try to find places where you can get job, remote, hybrid, all of that you can get. For networking, you're already in a great place where you can network. If you are not here, you won't be listening to some of these things. People pay a lot of money to listen to these things. My one-on-one session is 150K as at 2 months ago. When I'm having clarity with executive level people, 150K, 200K. But these are things you're hearing free of charge on this call. And it's all because you are here. So look for network like this. Join. Don't get out in a hurry because there are a lot of things to learn here. And we need to appreciate the admin for putting this together. 1 month back to back, fully packed activity for you guys. I think you need to give them a round of applause. It's even if it is for the fact that they are spending data just to ensure that you people are, Zoom is not free. This platform we are using to record is not free of charge. They paid for it. Now you will get this recording free of charge, right? So please, we need to appreciate them. They are doing a very good work. Let's move on. You can go to that platform to go and check this out. So first 30 days, what do you do? Audit your digital presence, identify 3 target companies per work mode, update your CV. After you've done all of that and optimize your LinkedIn and all of that, apply to 10 positions across all modes. At a point in time when I wanted to change my jobs, I'm not saying you should try this if you don't have the lever, but I'm telling you what I did. Within the space of 1 month, within the space of 2 weeks, I applied to about 100 jobs, 100 jobs. I was counting. 2 weeks. I applied to about 100 jobs. That means I would apply to about an average of 10 jobs per day. 10 jobs per day, Monday to Friday, 10. The next 10. I applied to about 100 jobs that I knew my CV qualified me for. Funny enough, out of those 100 jobs, I think I got about 5 interviews and I got picked for 2. I had to choose one out of the 2, right? So you can't just apply to one job and say they are not calling me. How many jobs have you applied to this month? This year, how many jobs have you applied to? When you're looking for something, you look for it with the whole of your heart. Do you know the rule of marketing says that if you want to speak to 10 people, you need to reach out to times 10 or times 10 of that number. So if you want 100 people to show up on your platform, you need to reach out to about at least 1,000 people. At least 1,000 people. If you don't reach out to 1,000 people, you don't have any right to expect 100 on your platform. That is the rule. So I applied that rule also for job search and I got picked. So try it. And I'm daring you, if you do these first 30 days, you do it right, and you begin to apply. You apply to an average of 5 jobs, 10 jobs per day that you know you qualify for, and see if you will not be called for interviews, right? Final 30 days, follow up strategically, negotiate offers confidently, choose aligned growth opportunities. Let's move on very quickly. So what I shared with you previously is a 90-day plan that anybody here can follow. And if you follow it, is a guarantee that between now and the end of this year, you are probably going to get your dream job or a job that looks like your dream job based on what you qualify for. Why am I convinced that you guys will win? Because everybody here is a winner. And why am I convinced so? Because you have community power. You have access to 1,000 plus ambitious Africans. There are weekly opportunities that come to you. You have skill building and mentorship opportunities. You also have the competitive edge. You have professional branding things happening around you. You get to hear these things. And then you have the network effect. On this place, you can see people or get people to refer you to other job opportunities, or you see them send you job opportunities every single time. So I'm convinced that you are going to win if you put yourself and steep yourself into what you are being taught. So like, I think it was one of the person that started speaking before me that said, hope you are practicing these things you are learning. Don't just say, 1 month, they stressed us. Please don't do this 1 month thing again. The things you've learned in this 1 month, How many of it, how many percentage have you practiced, including this one you are learning tonight? Let's move on. If you can do it, I'm sure that you're a winner. You're going to win. Next. Overcoming African challenges, infrastructure, perception, time zone, limited local network. I've spoken to this, and you have the solution right there. You can go and read it up. Let's move because of time. Okay, so what actions are you taking tonight? For those of you that know people who haven't joined this network, please call on them, let them join. For those of you that are here already, you already took the first step, and I'm happy for you. Number 2, you need to audit your current digital space. Are you the person that goes on Facebook to abuse people? Your Twitter is, you're a Twitter lord, Twitter baby. You go on Twitter and talk anyhow. I'm here. HR people are always here. Do you know that when you apply to jobs, we go on social media to look at the kind of person you are? If you don't know, I'm telling you that secret for free, especially remote job. Because I need to know the kind of person. One, I want to see your picture. What do you even look like? So are you showing me professional pictures, or you are showing me picture of where your skirt is almost... I've seen a lot of things in this short while, just about 10 years that I've been doing this thing, and it will amaze you how people pray fast, even spend money, but they are really not prepared for the job they're asking for. Do you know that if you are applying to be the CEO of a company, there's a way your social media must look to attract that kind of thing? You cannot be praying to be probably our brand ambassador, and then you are the one abusing Trump, abusing all of them, saying that Tinubu's government is a fluke, and then you are calling people different names. You want to say your truth and speak your truth. Well, go and audit your current digital presence, because if you apply, they will look. It's a social media platform. You've given us opportunities to see. If I can't find you there also, I don't believe you are tech savvy. So I also will not. So you can't even block people that are not your friend from seeing, because if I cannot see you on social media, or I cannot see you, you are not visible on the digital space, I can't also employ you, because it tells me that probably you are not tech savvy, or there's something you are hiding. Once you've done that, identify your preferred work mode makes, then go back to those 90 days challenge that I've given you and go and do. What are the things you can do this week? Update your LinkedIn profile. I know we've taken a class on LinkedIn, so I want to believe we've done that already. For those of you that have done it, you've already taken your first step for the week. Research 10 target companies, connect with 3 professionals, and start one relevant online course. If you go on allison.com, there are more than 100,000 courses for free that you can begin to take. This year, I think I've done about 12 courses on Allison alone, free courses on Allison alone. On LinkedIn, I've taken about 10 courses on LinkedIn Learning, 10 courses that are relevant to my field. This is how you do it. You don't just move by talking. Imagine in your CV, you're able to put some of these relevant courses you've done. Even if you don't have experience, this guy is learning and reading like this. It's something that quips my interest and wants to employ you for that. Let's move on. Thank you. Yeah, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today, not tomorrow. The future belongs to those who prepare for it now, safe. Like I said, commit your ways to the Lord. Your plan will be. Even if you don't remember anything, what do I want you to remember? Whether it's remote, hybrid, or on-site, your success depends on preparation, persistence, and the power of community. Don't forget those 3 P's: preparation, persistence, and the power of community. That should be my last slide. I think I should be able to take questions now. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Sorry I spoke a long while, but it was necessary for me to pour my heart out. It's Kuku the last one, right? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a very enlightening session. Yeah, like as you were talking, I was just reminiscing on the journey since the beginning of this series, because it's like you saw and you did not attend any of our sessions. It's as if you put like you summarize what people have been saying since the beginning. Because the week one we talked about getting your foot in the digital space. It was about clarity, knowing what to do, how to start in the digital space. The second week was about CV and resume building. The third was about LinkedIn optimization. So you now bringing it, not just talking about remote, bringing hybrid and the reality of what we currently have in Nigeria. Like, it's a lot, and I can say it is the only screen that reviewed this to you. Thank you so much. And we can see here that the assignments you are giving us are some of the assignments that has been given to us. We also had a skill spotlight video on what's I'm trying to remember the video on that we did. That we talked about how to develop a career plan. Yes. And that career plan, it was detailed about clarity, knowing yourself, matching your skill. As in, this entire session, apart from the community meetings that we have, it's been packed. It has taken a toll on us as an organization, but I'm sure that anybody that goes through this, they cannot remain the same. Yes. So, and we can see some assignments coming up over and over. That means you have to do it. As in, and even I'm even thinking about myself right now that we need to talk about, like, I need to go back and actually put actions to some of these things, even personally. So beyond coming to these sessions, please, to the participants, let us take actions. Let us take actions. And you can go to YouTube to re-stream the previous session in case you missed a part. Thank you once again, Mr. Emmanuel Sonlowa. That was a wonderful one. So I'm trying to go through the chat room now to see. Okay, from Kingsley. Kingsley says, sir, you talked about entry level job
Yeah,
being
I can
difficult.
see Kingsley stuff. Let me just quickly respond to that so that we take
Okay.
up the time of reading it. So yeah, Kingsley, you are right. But don't forget that when it comes to those guys, especially those that are outside the country, you say there are many jobs one can get without experience. My response to that would be, and I'm speaking from a professional perspective, and I need you to hear me. When we say experience, it doesn't mean that you've done that job before. Experience means you've either done something similar. For instance, when I was going to get the teaching job, it's not like I've taught anywhere before, right? But what I've done was I used to volunteer. That was when I was in SS2 during holiday. I volunteered to do home lessons for some people. I volunteered even for a particular school to teach, what did they call that, in summer school. And that was when they told me, have you taught before? And I'm talking of even when I went for NYSC, and you know, NYSC is compulsory, whether you like it or not, you will teach. But they were asking me, have you taught before, so that maybe we can teach you, you know, how to hold the chalk on the board and all of that. I was like, oh yeah, I volunteered to teach primary 3, primary 4. And they were like, okay, with that one. So it's not like I had an on-the-job experience, but I had something I could make reference to. Do you get me? And that's what happens outside the country. They don't read outside the country. Or let me say, they don't read like they used to. Most of the schools outside the country are off because nobody is going to them. It's Nigerians, Chinese, and Indians that go to them right now. But they still employ people. But you won't say they don't have experience. That's why they're employing them. They employ them and they see, you show them what you've done. For instance, I want to hire someone as an engineer, full stack engineer. You now say you don't need experience. No. I need to see, you might not have gone to school to read it, but you must be able to show me your portfolio. Where have you been a full stack before? Except you're talking of low-level jobs, like, oh, maybe you want to be a barman at one bar. If those are the kind of jobs you're talking about, yeah, really, even in Nigeria, you really don't need experience for those kind of jobs. But we are talking of jobs that can pay you good money. You need experience. Qualification here might not be a big deal, but experience, you need it. Whether in that particular thing or something that is similar. So when I got my first HR job, I've never done HR before, but I was in admin. I was in admin at a radio station where, you know, I hired people even when I was not an HR. And that was the experience I used to enter. I did not have experience as an HR person, but I had experience as a facility manager and an admin person. And based on that experience, they asked me questions. They saw that I have knowledge in that area. Some of the knowledge were knowledge of books that I read, courses that I took. So even though I've not worked as an HR, they could employ me because I had experience both practically and in knowledge. Do you get it now? That's what I'm referring to when I say experience. Even if you don't have the qualification, go and read about it. So that when they're asking you questions, you can speak at interview level. So that's the way we answer that. So I don't want to say without experience, because really you need experience for any kind of job. Experience for any kind of job. But if you're talking of job that will pay you $55 per hour, all those jobs where you go to the bar and then you are serving drinks, well, maybe those kind of jobs. So that's the way I will answer that question briefly.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. We also have another question from Banke, talking about the fact that recently it's difficult for Nigerians to get remote jobs because, like, compared to before, when they hear you are from Nigeria, they will just, and I've had cases like that immediately.
Let me quickly respond to that.
Yes.
It's not difficult to get remote job. But don't forget that on the step 2, after you've gained clarity, the second thing you know is preparation. There was a job I got a remote job before I got this my particular job, and then I applied. We did training and all of those things, and then we came to the place and they said you needed a laptop, you needed your headset, because it's more like a call center job. You needed a headset. If that's the path you have chosen to work as a customer care, you can't say you need to prepare, because for you to be applying to that kind of job, you need to know that you must have that setup. Even if they will provide for you at interview level, they want to be sure you have a laptop. You want to get a teaching job, an edutech job to teach someone in the US, but you don't have a laptop. Is it your phone you'll be using to teach them? So you need to prepare for the opportunities you're asking for, right? So it's not difficult. It's not difficult, but you need to prepare for it. For instance, they say, oh, I've had job interviews that happened at 9 p.m., 8 p.m., because that is their own time zone. So imagine you don't have light. They now say, oh, can we see your video? You now say, oh, sorry, there's no light where I am. You think you will get that job? No, you won't get it. They won't give you, because they'll be like, oh, you don't have light. Oh, I'm not sure you can do this job, because, you know, they can't even understand there's no light. They can't understand it. Or maybe you put your light on and then noise of generator is making noise close to where, and they're like, oh, your background is noisy. Can you read this? And you're like, oh, it's my generator. They're like, you should be prepared for the interview. So if you're applying to a remote job, when you are taking the interview, also prepare like you're an international person. Anything noise on the background, or I've seen people having interview and then they're having it in the parlor, television is making noise, somebody is walking on their back, their background is not fine, and they didn't know that, oh, what's the name? Google Meet has background. You can see what I'm using. If anybody walks behind me, you can't see what is happening. Since I've been on this call, you've not had noise since I started. It's not like generator is not somewhere making it, but I made due diligence to ensure that I'm not too close to it. So if you were an interviewer and I've spoken with passion on this call, will you say you won't give me the job? So it's not difficult, but you need to be ready for it. I see people changing jobs all the time. Where you are saying that it's difficult for you to get job, I know people have changed job about 3-4 times this year from one remote job to another. There are people doing about 2-3 remote jobs together. So it's not difficult, but are you prepared for the opportunities you have been praying for? Are you prepared for the opportunities that you're asking for? If you get a job today, remote job, where they start work by 5 p.m. and close work by 5 p.m. plus 8, that should be about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Are you ready for that kind of job? Like I told you, I work 8 a.m. till about 10 p.m., 11 p.m. sometimes. Are you ready for that kind of job? So it's all about what you are looking for. It's not difficult to get a remote job. What you are looking for may be what is difficult. Do you get what I'm trying to say now? So that's the way I will answer that question, because I don't want us to have the mindset that it's difficult for Nigerians to get job. No, it's not difficult. It's not the truth.
Yes, thank you, sir. That mindset is important, because immediately there's a flawed mindset that, oh, because you're a Nigerian, then it's difficult. It's going to affect the way you relate. And I can see Kingsley writing that some jobs don't include Nigeria. Yes, you need to check if your country is part of the people. I know I will see some jobs and they will say that it is remote, but if you are only resident in this particular country. So you need to check those things before you start applying. Okay, if we don't have any other question.
Just one more thing. Gift, I see
Okay,
your
sir.
comment. They lack trust in Nigerians. I need to see, it's all about mindset. They don't lack trust in Nigerians. Let me be honest with you. Most of them trust Nigerians than they even trust their own people. I've worked with them. I hire some of them, right? Like I hire some of these Oyinbo people. Some of us want to jackpot and go and meet. I hire them in our company. So it's not like they don't trust Nigeria. Yeah, some Nigerians have battered the entire system and all of that. But if you're able to speak to them, they're able to see passion in you, and they see your track record based on what is in your CV. They don't mind giving you the job. So it's not like they lack trust in Nigerians. I understand some Nigerians have bastardized the entire thing. But what I would say is, even if they've lost trust in Nigerians, you be the change that we're asking for. You be that change. Let them say, oh, I don't know many Nigerians. I've had bad things about Nigerians, but there's a Nigerian I worked with and I enjoyed working with her. I enjoyed working with him. Be the one they can recommend to other people. Because if you carry that mindset, when they don't pick you, what comes to you? These people don't cuckoo trust us. No, I can tell you it's not true. A lot of them marry our people. If they don't trust them, they won't come to Nigeria and marry them. Do you know a lot of Oyimbos are actually coming to Nigeria to come and marry now? Both male and female. If they don't trust us, they won't come and marry. So we need to get the mindset right, because it is very important. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Like the mindset, and we can be the change. Even if they've had a bad experience, you can be the good experience, and not everybody is bad. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate your time. And yes, you'll be getting this slide. We'll be sending all the materials. We're still trying to decide if we should send the materials to all TQN members or we should only send it to people that attended, because we have over 100 people registered and we have over almost 400 people on the WhatsApp group, and see the number of people that showed up here. So it shows how serious this nation is. People want to get a job, but they don't want to do the work. So we've already dealt with questions here and there. Sorry about last week for the personal reflection. We'll be dropping the two together this week so that you can fill the form. And know that without personal reflection, nobody is getting the certification from this bootcamp. It is important. There are practical steps to actually know if you're actually going through the practical aspect of what we are teaching. So this week, our skill spotlight session was a blog post talking about skills you should have. And we want to introduce you to our blog on our website. So please, you can check www.tqp.org/blog, or you just check it, you go to the blog post session. This week, we shared basic ICT skills you must learn to thrive in 2025 and beyond. So talking about sending emails, knowing when to click on cookies and all those like safety, all those basic formatting things that ICT skills you should know. You'll be shocked a lot of young people don't actually know how to properly edit a document. They'll just type. Instead of centralizing, they will press spacebar. So like all those things, you can actually learn them and they're important. We are going back to the basics because if the foundation is destroyed, what shall the righteous do? So this time around, a lot of people doesn't have a very strong foundation. So this is you strengthening your foundation. And with 4 challenge, it's a social media post on your highlights and lesson learned and major achievement during the last month as a TQN member. So it's running to a month now. So by next week, you'll be doing this. So you want to post on social media, you share your highlights from all our engagement. So we've had 4 live webinars. We've currently have 3 skill spotlight session. We've had 4 community meetings. So we've had a lot of touch points with you guys. So the orientation, the quiz, the debate, the personal pitch, as in it was a wonderful one yesterday with people dropping their pitch. Don't worry, we still have our mentors that would come and give feedback to your pitch. So let us see what you've learned. And we still have 1 more skill spotlight session that we plan to drop this coming week. So let us see what you've learned, your major achievements, what you've been able to do from what you've learned during this 1 month as a TKN member. And also, we've been sending opportunities. When I was going through the slide that Mr. Emmanuel shared, I think almost all those links have been sent to you this week. This week, we sent like 40 links in our opportunity roundup of remote job sites where you can actually get remote jobs as Africans, because we recognize the fact that, okay, yes, we're not only Nigerian, we have Liberians here, we have people from Ghana also in this community. Yes, you can actually get, the day we sent the links for scholarship, it was like 80. So like you have a lot of resources. The resources we've pumped into you for in this 1 month, it will take you over 2-3 months to even exhaust the resources. So let us hear from you what you've learned. And this new week, we're still going to send you also opportunities on getting funding and grant opportunities where you can get them. We'll signpost you to them. And this would not end even during this. So the opportunity roundup for next week is business loans and grants. So it won't end after this month. We'll continue, but definitely at a lower tempo. This is just to have an official launch of the community. Then we'll reduce the tempo into something that is sustainable. We'll talk about that at the closeout meeting. So please check your emails. Don't just sleep on this opportunity, and would always update, would even share how to make use of these opportunities. And we are teaching you, like giving you step-by-step guidelines. So please make use of this opportunity. While I'm sure a time will come, maybe we'll have a subscription for this group, because it takes a whole lot pulling this together. So in case you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do subscribe, because currently all our videos on this project have been uploaded. That's been edited and uploaded. So this is the first session. This is how to build a career plan, the LinkedIn optimization, the modern CV resume employers want. You remember Mrs. Gibbs talked about ATS. Now Mr. Manuel mentioned ATS. So you can see that these things, they are both HR people. So please, you need to go back and watch those videos. They've taught us a lot of things. You need to go back there, and you can even check for our previous videos. This is not the first time we're having this program. So we've talked about some topics. We have some short videos, some longer versions. Check, and you have the opportunity at your hand. All you need to do is just to make use of it. So we're having our closeout meeting for this official launch on Friday. That's 31st of October on Telegram. That's when we have our community meeting. Every Friday is community meeting. So there we're going to have feedbacks from you, what you've learned, what you think we can do better. And also we'll tell you about our plan for the next month. So you know, okay, how often will you be getting opportunity roundups? How often are we going to be having live webinars and all of those things? So we'll be sharing all those plans on Telegram, and that's where we'll be we'll start getting the entire information that you have learned, and we can start processing people's certifications. So if you have not registered by now, I don't know what you're doing. So it is just TQN reg form BIT/LY. So you can keep getting our opportunity roundups and be in the loop of all our information. So, and if you've not followed us on social media, you are wrong. Yes, literally, because you are sleeping on a lot of opportunities, a lot of information that we put out there day in, day out. So we are TQP on social media. Check it and follow us. Thank you everybody for coming here today. We really appreciate you. And yes. I think